I just did a whole spiel and then realised that the camera wasn't recording and had almost finished, or I had finished. So where do I get from? Where shall I start? I've been dying to see Odyssey. No one wanted to go with me, so I went on my own to see it. So spoiler alert if you haven't read the book. I'll try not to if you just want to watch the movie. So one of the things that was so potent, there's so many downloads that come to me whilst watching it. No wonder I was so drawn to going. I had to see it, and now I really want to read the book and kind of compare, or at least listen to the audiobook. This is me, brother. So there's a symbol. This won't spoil it too much. Most of you know Troy and the Trojan horse and where the story comes from. So the horse, at one point, there's this bit where it's burning. I won't say when in the movie, but to me this is this symbol of now we're in the fire horse. It's like a reference to the time that we're in, and lots of reminders of our hubris, I believe the word is, for man in the way he was. There's this stuff that he talks about, and I've heard this spoken about in documentaries, the sea people that start attacking. So people say that the writer was wanting to speak about how a reference to subconsciously what was going on in society, and I do believe that is so, but I also think there's references to history and some hidden history in there with the myths and the legends not being so much myths anymore, coming to light in my eyes, a nod to that, but to how we become those raiders, the society and its structure when it breaks down, rage being unleashed in one night, and how war changes man, and how society and the powder keg, I want to say frustration energy that people that build up and things, so when the powder keg things kick off because of the way it's not necessarily those people that actually do it, it's things that have led up to that, experiences of both sides and how that can interplay and happen. So I do feel that it's very worth watching or listening to the audiobook. But I like the way the screenplay writer has written the narrative. I'm a big fan of Matt Damon. I've always have been. But yes, the reflections of understanding ourselves as a society, I feel, is really important right now more than ever. So hence this mirror of download of that reminder for where we're at. If we look to the past and don't look at what's happened, we're doomed to kind of repeat it if we don't learn from it. But then there's this thing that how do we learn from it if we don't experience it? We have to experience it through, but we can experience it through things like that, through culture, and understand. Others can't. They can't take themselves and put themselves in the place of that and understanding those times. For me also, there was this kind of, like, say, people refer to in some of the archaeological things and documentaries I've seen of they were speculation about whether the seafaring people, the Atlanteans, were meant to be like that, and there's definitely a mirroring of the lessons of that, of the history, parallels that were seen from what was told from that time and that what was happening in the own time of the author's writing. And I certainly see the parallels in our society. But my point is that if we are going to the cycles keep repeating, can we learn? Can we come at things from a different perspective, from a higher perspective, seeing the bigger picture for the world, to understanding on a really deeper, profound level? So let me know if you felt like there was definitely symbolism in that fire horse, fire burning, and this sense of when we go against what they call Zeus's law, remembering how we treat strangers, and how we are, our kindnesses, that over time that builds up. It's kind of this whole metaphor, I feel, for remembering treating others as we would treat we would treat ourselves. But if those people are abusing that law, if they're not actually abiding by that law, there comes a time when you have to acknowledge that and see the mirror, that society, everything is a mirror for who we are and who we're becoming. So allowing ourselves to stand in a mirror of integrity is important, for me, for sure. But that doesn't mean we don't err, we don't make mistakes. I felt so deeply that there was other messages and downloads of, like I said, hidden histories that will be coming to light, that culturally are woven in, just as we weave in culturally things as writers, as narrators, as artists. If you look at the arts of the time, which movies are, and so too are literatures, then you're seeing what's happening in the subconscious, things that are coming in down. I'm not saying that every single thing is true, but I am saying that the subconscious, that we create the reality, we create the world that we want to be in. So we're seeing that reflecting in our world. And then others might say, well, I don't want to live in a world like that. I've had many people say, oh, that's positive stuff. It's like, it's fine when you're all happy, but not when you're not. But actually, in the face of adversity, it's when it's more important to be integral. That's when you need to be doing the gratitude. That's when you are seeing beyond. And it doesn't mean that you can't have the joys and loves. I think it makes us appreciate it that much more. Anyway, I thought I would share. Just had to say that was just like, is it just me? Or if you've seen the movie, let me know your thoughts. I really resonated with the mirroring of our world currently, as well as previous worlds that the writer was resonating from times even before his, 1,000 years before his time. And there's much to be learned from literature that I feel we are losing. So it's good to see narrators portraying versions of that story that I believe is still relevant, very much relevant today.